Hello, my name is Letitia Bolden, and today's date is May the 6th, 2023. Today's discussion is on interpersonal communication. I have learned so many things that I will be using from now on. Interpersonal communication is a skill that allows you to have two communicators, a speaker and a listener. It is very essential that the speaker and the listener have skills to be able to communicate and to listen. There are things that are important that the listener should do in order to be able to communicate with the speaker. The listener has to be attentive and able to ask questions, cite what the person has said in his own words. The speaker will be able to express their emotions and thoughts clearly so that others will be able to perceive what they are actually trying to say and how they really feel. Identity communication, one way is misunderstanding someone, basically based off of the communication they're actually sending to another person. Sometimes a person can miscommunicate by not listening clearly and not asking questions, or someone not being able to explain or express their thoughts and emotions clearly. The other one is false pretense. That's when a person is communicating information that is not true. And so that is not a good way to communicate, which means that be yourself, be honest, be able to express yourself. In our communication, our interpersonal communication comes from our culture, our experiences, and the things that we have actually been through. Some of the barriers that we face in communication is mind reading. You should allow the person that is speaking to be able to express their emotions and their thoughts clearly, and allowing them to finish their complete thought. Interrupting is another one that is that a lot of people do. I even find myself sometimes interrupting people when they're talking. So I've been practicing not to do that. And it's mainly because you want to get your thought out right then. However, you should allow the people that is talking to speak their emotions and thoughts and allow them to finish, and then be slow to respond. So that way you will clearly get a thought and an emotion of how you feel and how you are thinking, basically based on what the speaker has already told you. One of the skills that we have been taught is to think before we speak, and don't be so quick to agree. Allow the conversation to interact with one another and be able to determine whether or not you clearly understand what that other person is saying. Another one is advising. That's one that I think that I would need to work on as well. Advising people, it's not good to give advice until you have really listened clearly, by asking questions and also reiterating what the person has said. So that way you will clearly hear and understand what they are implying or what they're saying. A good communicator would not be judgmental, especially a counselor. There are things and situations that have come about, and we want to make sure that when people have been hurt or when people have been given a situation where they may have not responded how you would, it's not our place to judge them. We should carry ourselves in a manner of compassion and love. Goals to improve my communication. I want to make sure that I have empathy for those that may not be comfortable with sharing their information due to pain. I would like to make sure that I'm respectful. I respect other people's opinions and feelings and emotions and thoughts. And by doing that, put yourself, I will put myself in that person's shoes and actually allow myself to understand where they are coming from and why are they looking at things the way that they are. Be more attentive in listening. Um, Validate people when they are um, allowing themselves to share their emotions and feelings, and openness. That's something that I'm willing to work on as well. To be open, allow people to express themselves, allow people to explain where they're coming from. A lot of times, we may not understand what others are saying based on where we come from. It could be based on our culture. It could be based on our environment. It could be based on what we've been taught. And we have to be open to other things that we may not be familiar with. When it comes to the temperament of model of human behavior, there are four behaviors that we have been looking at in this class. Active task oriented, D, which describes this person as directing, driven, demanding, dominant, and the second one, active people oriented, is I, inspiring and impressive, and interacts with people. Passive task oriented is C, conscious, competent, compliant, and careful. Passive people oriented, S, steady, shy oriented, and pretty much is more of a servant and stable and submissive. It is important that we do what we can to try to improve ourselves. I know that we want to change other people, but we also have to look at what we can change about ourselves. That's what is important. Many times we can't change people, but we can definitely change ourselves. This class has really allowed me to improve my communication skills on both ends, as far as a listener and a speaker. I've learned that it is important to be slow to speak. Um, it's important to view, allow those that are speaking to express themselves and allow them to complete their thought and their emotions as the person is the listener. And as the speaker, sometimes when you're talking, you don't realize what you're thinking or feeling until it comes out. And so sometimes it's good to just talk to people and vent so that you can actually hear and see what your emotions are. Um, I think that this class is a very important class, and I'm glad that I took it, have taken it, because it has allowed me to improve my communication skills. Thank you.